So hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will see some non-values such as undefined, null or NaN, and we will discuss how in what cases does JavaScript give these values to you and how you can handle them and make your code even better and optimized. So for example, let's just start right away. So first, let's see an example of undefined. Okay. So I will just declare a variable called a, let a. Or in fact, I will just do not even declare it. Okay. I will just let it a. And what I will do, I will console log it. Okay. Let's first give it a value of 6. Okay. So let's save it. And you can see over here, I have opened a HTML file. Ignore that. And let me zoom this. Okay. So yeah, you can see value is printing fine. But what if I just remove this value? You can see it is giving an error. This because we haven't even defined the variable a. Now what I will do, I will just write let a and still I am not giving the value. Now what it will console, it will give me undefined. That's because we haven't given any value to this, but the type of a is let, or you can say we have defined the type of a but haven't given any value. And same goes for the where. If I just write where a, it still gives me undefined, but you cannot do this with const. Okay, and that's because const will always take something as a value. So you can see it just gives me error right away in the compiler itself. So you cannot do this with const. Alright, so this is undefined, how you can get undefined. And there are many other cases also undefined. This is a variable. Now what I will do, I will call a function. Okay, let's make a function of func this thing. And I will just do nothing inside it. Okay, this is an empty function. What I will do next is just call this a console. So what will it will give me? You can see it is still giving me undefined because we haven't done anything in it. And if I just return, okay, just return it, not anything, not string numbers, just return, still it will give undefined. That's how you can get undefined. Now we will and like, I hope you understand what undefined really is. So okay, and now let's talk about null values, but before that let's talk about NaN. So what is NaN? This NaN stands for not a number, and it is very simple concept. It's a very simple concept. So let's say I have a variable called n and it is equal to 5. Okay, and then I am just consoling it, so it will just console fine. Okay, but what if I divide it by another number? It will give me a value. Okay, but what if I just divide it by an empty string or like an any character? It will give me. So here you can see it is giving me infinity because it is treating this empty string as 0. If I just write here 0, it will still give me 0. Sorry, infinity. And instead of this empty string, if I just write a character over here, and now you can see it is giving me NaN. And it will also give you NaN if you just write any string as well. Okay, and not even strings, if you just write any boolean, you can see it is treating this true as 1, and therefore it is not giving you NaN. So you can get NaN in these cases. Okay, where you are like multiplying, dividing, or getting subtraction of a number and a string. So for example, if you just write plus over here or addition, you will say that it still gives me NaN, but this is not the case. It will give me this thing. Okay, it will just add a number and a string together and it will give me 5 lol. And if I just write over here minus, now it will give me NaN. Okay, so make sure for a for addition, for plus operator, it will not treat it as a NaN value. Okay, so keep it in mind. So now let's take some cases where you can use null or undefined to make your code even better and like handle all the edge cases where your code or your any application could have been like stopped working. Okay, so what I will do here, I will make a function called API call. Okay, this is a very basic fetch API code I will write over here. I will just first say there is an API URL over here. Okay, and you are just getting these values. Let's say this. Okay, and let me just do this. All right, so in this case what you are doing, you can write any URL in this and it will give you a response. Okay, and also you have to write this over here called, let's say, response, and this thing, so response.json. Okay, all right. And now if you just give any URL in this, you will get a data, specific data, uh, which is, you will get a specific data which is you will get a specific data. So for example, let's say the URL you have provided does not contain any data. Okay, it is an empty string, or you can say an empty object. So what will it will return in this console log? So let me just write it over here. Data is this. For now it will give it an error. Okay, so just I'll just call this function over here. It will give an error because this URL does not exists. Okay, that's why it is giving me this error. But let's say the URL is fine, the URL is valid, but the data in it does not contain anything. So in this case, you can get the help of null values. So let's say what I will do if e dot data, or let's assume this e dot data exists in this API URL, exist in this API. So if this equal to null, then what I will do, I will just write error handling. Okay, and here you can like handle anything, like give it an alert to the user that there is no data or anything you want. Okay, error handling over here, you can do it. All right, so I have written over here some random like API which gives you some values, and if I just, instead of this data, because there is no data in over there, and I'll just comment this out. So let me just call this function over here. Okay, um all right, so as you can see, after some time it is giving me some data. So this function is working fine. Now what if there is no data? So for example, just remove this over here, and let's say remove anything. You can see there is no data over here. Okay, so in this case you can use null. So for example, I will just write e over here, and if data, let's write over here, and all right, now if data is equal to null, we will handle it. Else what we will do, I'll just simply console log the data. Okay, and remove this console log from here. All right, so you can see we are getting error handling. So let's say you can just write anything over here and handle your error in your way. For example, I'm writing over here um, data is empty. So you can see the data is empty, and after that there is an error. Okay, so this error is because of the API URL, because I have made some changes. It is not valid, but you will not get it if the URL is valid. Okay, so you can handle these cases with the help of this null value, and let me just show you it works fine with undefined as well. Okay, if I just write over undefined, it will still work. You can see it is still working, data is empty, and console log over here. So you can either use undefined or null, but in most cases null is a better approach to this type of problems. So I hope you like get what is the basic difference between undefined, NaN, and null values. So we don't even call these values. These are non-values which are used in JavaScript to handle like edge cases or such cases that can break your code. So I hope you learned something new in this video. And if you have any suggestions regarding any type of topic or video, let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one.